back. Just me again. I'll start with the menu for the week. Today's breakfast was pancakes. Today's lunch is bacon and blanket, tri-tater fruit veggie bar. Tuesday's breakfast is breakfast burrito. Tuesday's lunch is chicken nuggets, tater tots, fruit veggie bar. Wednesday's cooked choice for both lunch and breakfast. Same with Thursday. Friday's breakfast is Long John, and there's no lunch served Friday because that was our last day. If you were shoving your nose, struggling on crisis, help is available. Call or text 988 or check the 988lifeline.org. Choose 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Bucket Academy meeting /news. Today, Monday, May 15th, there's a girls basketball meeting with Mr. Birch in his room. Monday, May 15th, that's today. High school boys and girls wrestling with Mr. Raber in his room. Tuesday, May 16th, FFA officer meeting with Mr. Goldfist in his room. And Tuesday, May 16th, all juniors meet with Mrs. Ferguson regarding field day. That will be in the main gym. 7 to 12 students participating in athletics next year. Stop by in the office and get a new physical form that will take to the doctor this summer to be completed. Nebraska D-League will be hosting a basketball camp at Summerland. They have an emphasis on player development and taking their game to the next level. The camp is June 5th and 6th, 2022 and 2023. Grades 8 through 11 will run from 9 to 12. And grades 3 to 7 will run 12 to 1:30. There's a link in the form for the camp. There's a 3-day football camp. Regards for current grades 3 through 7th. May 15th to the 17th after school until 5 o'clock. The state track shirt order links and the announcements due May 15th at 12. All library books must be due today, will be turned in today. Someone will be hosting sports metrics. Mrs. Monerica has forms, so please send your Slingshot's daughter to grab one. 2 time slots will be available. Registration forms are now available in the office. See Carol to get one payment. Forms are due back in the office by May 15th. Classes will run from June 26th to June 30th in Neely. The cost is $325 per student. That is for driver's ed. Daily quote: perfection is attained by slow degrees. It requires a hand time. Elementary news: your fresh fruit and veggie program. Thursday, May 11th, cucumbers. Tuesday, May 16th, strawberries. And Wednesday, May 17th, and blueberries. And follow your summer block. Spectator responsibilities. Sports and activities for this week. That was last week. Sports and activities for this week. Monday, May 15th, today, District Golf Fair Play Golf Course. Youth Football Camp at Summerland starting at 3:30. Tuesday, May 16th, piano recital at 7. A school board meeting at 7. Youth Football Camp at Summerland. Wednesday, May 17th, kindergarten field trip. Impact testing for grades 6, 8, and 10. And the Youth Football Camp again. Thursday, May 18th, pre-K's last day. Kindergarten readers, theaters, and preschool graduation. Friday, May 19th, state track and field. Early dismissal and elementary field day. And Saturday, May 20th, state track and field day again. And Tuesday, May 23rd, and Wednesday, May 24th, is state golf for the dance caps uniform fitting at 10:30. That'll do it for today's podcast. Make sure to stay tuned for Barrett Sports segment, the Summerland Flag Football League Awards.
Welcome to the SFFL Awards. Yeah, MVP today, Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, Manager of the Year, and their team selections.
Yep, defensive team, all team. So, I mean, do we start off with...
I think we save MVP for last.
That's what I was thinking.
We start with teams.
Okay. So, starting off with the SFFL First Team All-Pro. Our quarterback selection is Michael. Obviously, the year that he had almost 1,000 passing yards, 15 touchdowns. Played great.
Our first...
didn't play a wide receiver at all. So
our first wide receiver being Jaquan.
Yep. And the second one on the first team, receiver-wise, Dylan Barlow. He played pretty good. Obviously, he got traded.
Just both two really outstanding receivers right there.
Yeah.
And then we get into our second team. We got Alec at the quarterback, Cage at wide receiver 1, Parker at wide receiver 2.
Cage and Parker. Yeah, I was going to say, Cage and Parker is a really good duo. If you had those two on the same team, that'd be really disgusting.
And Michael at quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably, obviously, well, I guess like returning team, that's probably the best 3 that you could have.
Yeah.
I mean, Parker he didn't play the first game of the year. He wasn't even on a team. He was, right? Michael drafted him, and then he dropped him.
No.
Yes.
He never drafted him, did he?
Yes, he did. He drafted him, but then he broke his collarbone, so he got rid of him. Picked up Jaquan, which ended up working out just fine. And then Alec got Parker. So
you got our third team, Kenlon, Sam, Keaton, going at quarterback, Sam Keaton at wide receivers.
I've heard a lot of people talking about how Sam wasn't in at quarterback, but if you actually look at the stats, his passing yards were not that good just because of what he and P did, switching between quarterback and receiver.
Yeah.
And he had better stats receiving, so that's why we chose to put him at wide receiver instead of QB. And Kellen, without playing the last game of the season, he still makes an all-pro team. Defensively, I think the clear defensive, the first defensive team here is P and Sam because, I mean, like I said, you look at the stats, interceptions, defensive touchdowns, and tackles, that was all P. P was carrying that. Sam had tons of tackles as well. He had 11 tackles on the year, more than P, but P had 4 picks and 2 of them for touchdowns. So they were, on the same team as well. Excellent defenders. And the second team goes to Levi and Dylan. Their tackle stats were very good on the year. Dylan with 10, Levi with 9. I believe, no, neither of them had a pick, but they did make it. So that's the defensive teams. And I think the first award we're going to start off with is Manager of the Year. This one, really, not much of a competition.
It's hands down. It's Sam.
Sam, undefeated season. He didn't really have to make too many, trades or anything. He didn't do any of that. But he kept the league on watch because you never knew who was going to have the ball.
That and he just had a strategy nobody could stop.
Yeah, literally, it's going to end up making a rule change because of it. But they got it. They got what they needed out of it. They got their championship ring. The game was tied, of course, but we ended up having a decider, and Sam won that. So
we went off of points scored and records, right?
Yeah, and Sam got that win. So Michael runner up, but yeah, the long snappers win the SFL the game. But that's not really what we're talking about. We're talking about more of awards right now.
Yeah.
So offensive player of the year.
Once again, you have to go Sam.
Sam.
Just a dominant season all around between passing, receiving,
and rushing.
Leading the league in rushing yards.
Nobody, like we talked about, his rushing stats. He had 311 rushing yards, 375 passing yards, and 351 receiving yards. Did he have the most total yards? Let's see. Most total yards was Sam. Yeah, Sam had 1,037 total yards, and that's the most. Second closest was Michael.
Alec, maybe.
Michael with 950. That was second. And Alec had 925.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, it was Sam completely running it offensively. So, that's why he gets Oh Boy, because he, like I said, played excellent, and he's going to make for a rule change if there's a season 2. So, he wins Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year, I think another one that is pretty obvious.
It's hands down Preston.
Yeah.
Leads the league in interceptions.
Touchdowns, defensively. Tackles as well, he's up there. So, great season from P. And it's really, honestly, it was Sam and Preston leading the way in most of the stats. And, they won the championship, so it makes sense. Yeah. They had a great team. We'll see if they can do it again. And finally, our MVP, Jaquan Petit. He got it. Comes in for one season and plays excellent. He had, 22 catches for 555 yards and 12 touchdowns in the regular season. In the first round of the playoffs, he had 8 catches for 150 and 4 touchdowns. 4 of his 8 catches for touchdowns. He even threw for a touchdown. And the championship game, he went out and got 5 catches, 115 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So, honestly, he was really unstoppable. We never really saw anybody guard him up. Even when they played against Sam and Preston, they really couldn't stop him. Jaquan running crazy. Obviously, having a guy like Michael to throw it to you, that helps. But, Michael almost having a 1,000-yard year. Of course, he was in consideration for MVP. Sam was as well. He got Offensive Player of the Year. So, but, really, MVP, most valuable player, most valuable for their team, who helped their team the most. Michael doesn't have Jaquan. That team is not. Yeah. That team doesn't make it to the championship game. Sure, you can say Jaquan doesn't have Michael, they don't make it to the championship game. But what Jaquan did for that team was way more important than Michael. Yeah. He was able to really carry most of the scoring throughout the year, even when they had Dylan before they picked up Keaton. So, yeah, that's going to do it for our award ceremony and the season. Sam wins the championship. MVP goes to Jaquan. Defensive Player of the Year, Preston. Offensive Player of the Year, Sam. And Manager of the Year is Sam Cheatham.
And with that, I guess we'll hopefully see you next year.
Yep.
If there is next year.
If there is a season 2.